All right, we're sitting here in Hendrick Motorsports, the museum, talking to Larry Dees, who's with DuPont, celebrating 20 years of Jeff Gordon and 20 years of DuPont sponsorship of Jeff Gordon. You don't see relationships that long in this sport. 20 years, one guy.
That's correct. It actually is the longest running sponsor, owner, driver relationship in the sport. So something we're very, very proud of. Jeff's been a great spokesperson for DuPont for 20 years. Obviously, his talent and his wins and championships are all great, but he's really represented us well with our customers, with our brands. He's just a super spokesperson for us. So
I'm always interested as to why a specific sponsor might enter NASCAR, because it's not like DuPont, you go into the store and you buy a DuPont, right? It's not a deliverable to a retail customer. So what is it that DuPont sees in this relationship and sees in this sport that is attractive and beneficial?
Well, and if you don't mind, I'll tell a long story. I'll try to make it brief, but it actually started off as very, very simple. We wanted Rick Hendrick's paint business at his body shops, his dealerships. So, we're negotiating with him to provide paint, and he's starting up this new team with a rookie driver, Jeff Gordon. And so that's how it came to be. We decided to sponsor the 24 car. We got his paint business at his body shops. We've been supplying him paint for 20 years, and so that's how it started. After a few years, it wasn't just about paint. It became a corporate deal, and so we've used virtually every brand we have, from Kevlar, Nomex, Tyvek, Crop Protection, Suva, Iceon, just tons of DuPont brands being promoted by Jeff and helping us get focus on those brands. So I guess what I would say to you today, it's about brand building and relationships with customers.
Gotcha.
And that's what Jeff does for us.
Well, it's interesting when you tell the story that way. Was there a moment when you guys opened your eyes and said, we have a unique generational talent representing our company? I mean, Jeff Gordon is an iconic driver. You hit a home run when you signed on with Jeff Gordon.
Absolutely. And was there a moment? I'm certain there was. I've only been involved with the program since 2005, since shortly after the plane crash.
Right.
But I'm sure that was a moment. The funny part is I get lots of questions all the time about who was the person at DuPont who was so smart to pick
right.
this. And I tell them every time, it was really just the luck of the draw. We were at the right place at the right time when Jeff came along. So we didn't plan it. We aren't talent scouts for drivers.
Right.
We were very, very fortunate.
The other interesting thing about Jeff, I think, is he takes so seriously his job off the track as he does his job on the track. And feels like that's one thing that you get out of him that some drivers give, and maybe some less so, that he really takes seriously his responsibility to represent you guys.
No question about that. We do an event virtually every year in Wilmington, Delaware, where we have Jeff come to corporate headquarters and spend time with employees. And he really acts and kind of looks at himself as a DuPont employee. And so he behaves that way, whether it's with customers, with employees. It doesn't matter. Jeff acts like a DuPont employee, and he's working to benefit our products. In fact, over the Christmas holidays, I won't go into a lot of details, but he texted me a picture of a product he had bought that had Tyvek in it, and said, "See, I'm a big DuPont customer too." So he takes it very seriously, and he does a great job at it.
Well, obviously it's a great relationship. It's a long-standing relationship, but you guys did take a little bit of a step back last year. I assume that had to be a really tough decision given the longevity of your relationship, to pull back from that primary sponsorship.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a tough decision. It wasn't something that was done, without much thought and consternation. The reality is, we were in a very difficult economic times following the downturn in 2008. And the cost of racing has gone up quite a bit. So, it was a tough decision to make, but it was a business decision that was made for a lot of good reasons. So, tough to take, but probably.
But you still get to celebrate 20 years, and
We-
you're still there on the car. How many races do you have this year?
14 races.
Okay, so
Well, that's
pretty
a
healthy
significant number
schedule.
of races. It's
Absolutely.
not like you guys are an associate sponsor on
That's
the back
correct.
of the car. 14 races.
That's correct.
All right. Well, thank you, sir, for taking the time and for helping us celebrate 20 years of DuPont. Jeff Gordon on the number
And how
24.
cool would it be to see that car win a championship in the
It'd be
20th
way
year?
cool.
Huh?
Absolutely.
That'd be
Particularly
pretty neat.
since we will have the paint scheme in Homestead.
Well,
So
yeah, that's
There-
what you
that
had
was
to make
smart.
sure of that.
That's
hopefully
smart.
we're there for that.
All right.
So,
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
thank
your
you.
time.
Appreciate your time.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.